All right. Durs asked me to do this, and maybe Chris from D1 asked me to do this. I'm going to post it to both leagues. I'm using the D2 spreadsheet. I don't know why. Maybe because my team is better over here. But they wanted a quick explanation of what the impact spreadsheet was. So I'm going to try my best to do it again. If you don't care, shut the video off. I don't care if you shut the video off. So here it's broken down into 4 columns. We have the playoff impact, we have the division impact, we have the bye week impact, and then we have the total impact of all of the first 3 columns put together. So here, and then the rows, this is if the favorites win, this is if the underdogs win, and then this is the total impact regardless. So I'll focus on the playoffs for the favorites winning. So we've got all of the teams listed over here. We've got all the favorites for each matchup. This is how we read the table. If Calgary is favored over Chicago. The Bombers are so bad. If Calgary wins this matchup, what this 11 means is his playoff probability, with everything else being considered equal, nothing else impacting it. If he wins, his probability will go up 11% for making the playoffs. On the flip side, Chicago's probability will go down 12%. Obviously, there's a 1% difference here. Some of that is just due to random variability. If Calgary wins, I'm sure that Duke is actually pulling for Calgary because their win percentage goes up by 2%. I'm confident that anytime that there's a 1%, it's probably just random variability to the point that I might try to get rid of that. Like the zeros, all the blanks are just 0. If we go over to the division odds, if Calgary wins, basically the only way Calgary is getting into the playoffs is if he wins his division. So we see that same 11%. If Mike loses, he's also probably losing out on the chance of getting a wild card. That's why this is a slightly different. But yellow is good, gray is bad. So Chicago, not surprisingly, does not want Calgary to win because he wants Chicago to win. And if he does win, his division probability goes up 19%. Duke's goes down 6%. So this is a case where Duke has a vested interest in this matchup because if Jared wins, if Calgary wins, his probability goes up. I'm sorry, if Calgary wins, his probability goes up 2%. If Chicago wins, his probability goes down 7%. This deals with his own game. I also do it for the bye weeks. Those that are heavily impacted are the best teams, obviously. If Carolina beats me like he should, his bye week probability goes up 7. Mine goes down 8. And maybe kind of interesting, Durs should actually be rooting for Carolina. Or I'm sorry, not Carolina, Caribbean Heat. Because if the Caribbean Heat win, his probability goes up 2%, where if I win, Tucson's goes down 4%. Over here, the percentages themselves don't really matter a ton because basically I'm adding 3 percentages together. So the number itself doesn't make a whole lot of sense other than it's just kind of a total impact. So if Carolina wins, my 3 probabilities combined go down 11%. His 3 go up 11%. Tucson has a lot riding this week, not only to make the playoffs, but to win his division, to get a bye week, to the point that if he wins, like he should, against Atlanta, his probabilities go up a combined 22%. If he loses, they go down a combined 21%. All other things being held the same. We see that for the underdogs as well. If I win, my probabilities go up 25%. If I lose, or if I win, Caribbean Heats go down 23%. So a couple interesting things here. Hollywood Spideys is rooting for me. He wants me to beat his division rival. Midland Mastodons should be rooting for me so that they can catch Caribbean Heat. There's probably going to be the second team in the West is better than the second team in the East, no matter how you shake it out to be. So you guys want me to run away with the East. You want me to beat the teams from the West. That will increase your chances of winning. Although, now that I say that, there's a bunch of negatives over here too. So, whatever. Atlanta, huge game for them this week. If they win, their probabilities go up 44%. If they lose, their probabilities combined go down 47%. Here, this is just the total impact for each game, whether it's positive or negative. So Tucson has the most to gain or lose this week. Detroit, it doesn't matter. You're not making the playoffs no matter what happens this week. So that 1% difference, probably just due to random variability. Not surprisingly, since Tucson has the most riding this week, the Tucson-Atlanta Alpha Dogs matchup also has the largest impact overall. In fact, they are two of the top three, with Chicago thrown in there as well in terms of the impact of what could happen this year, or this week, how that impacts the rest of the year. Yeah, I don't know if that helps. I don't know if you guys care. I don't really care if you care. I enjoy it. Go Chicago, or Cleveland Steamers, not Chicago Bombers. Down with the Bombers. So I am rooting for, well, let's look. Let's look to see who I need to root for this week. I'm rooting for myself, obviously. I'm rooting for the Alpha Dogs. I'm rooting for Duke over Midland. I am rooting against Carolina, or Caribbean. I see CAR, and I think Carolina. The rest of it doesn't really matter. So hopefully you got something on this. If you don't, I don't give a shit. Peace.